Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're analyzing Kashable.com. They're a company offering employer-sponsored personal loans.
Right. And for you, our listener, the question isn't just about getting funds quickly. It's really about trust.
Especially since these loans, they often involve repayment directly through payroll deduction, right?
Exactly. That kind of arrangement, it bypasses some standard checks, but it means you need absolute confidence in the platform itself.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Let's synthesize the evidence we gathered on their corporate structure, their transparency, and what users are actually saying. See if they hold up.
And that structural check is, well, it's crucial.
Yeah.
Anytime a financial service links to your employment, you need proof they're accountable, that they're legitimate.
So what did we find? Any strong markers?
Yes, actually. Several things suggest Kashable is, operating properly. Things that go beyond just the basics.
Okay, so let's start with their public footprint. I mean, being online is one thing, but does their activity level tell us anything about their financial integrity?
I think it does. It tells us they aren't trying to hide. Kashable, they have active profiles on Facebook and Instagram, sure.
No.
But the key detail might be LinkedIn. They've got over 21,000 followers there.
Wow, 21,000 on LinkedIn. That's significant.
It suggests they're visible to HR professionals, to corporate vetting teams, not just individuals looking for a loan. It's a different kind of visibility.
Visibility is one angle. What about security? You mentioned they have apps.
Right. They have apps on both the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. And that's a huge signal.
Why is that?
Well, getting listed there, it means passing some pretty rigorous checks. Security standards, data encryption for handling financial info. It's not trivial.
So it's like an external vetting process almost.
Exactly. It provides a strong layer of protection for you, the user.
Okay. And drilling down into their own transparency, what about the people actually running the show?
They're impressively open about that, actually. Their About Us page, it lists team members, uses actual photos.
No generic stock photos.
Nope. Real people. They even named the founders Rishi Kumar and Not Steele.
That definitely builds some confidence, showing who's behind the curtain.
It does. And then there's customer support. They provide a physical address, a phone number, an email.
So not just hiding behind a web form.
Right. You have multiple ways to reach them. If we connect this to the bigger picture, having those tangible contact points, it really helps establish long-term reliability. That's critical for any financial service.
Okay, so the structural side, the corporate transparency, it sounds pretty solid.
It does look strong, yes.
But the real test always comes down to user experience, doesn't it? Let's pivot to the actual feedback. Here's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, and the feedback comparison is fascinating. It really shows how different review platforms can paint slightly different pictures.
How so?
Well, on Trustpilot, Kashable has a low rating, like 2.9 stars. But, and this is a big part, but it's based on only 4 reviews total.
Just 4. That's barely anything.
Exactly. Now, contrast that with Facebook. We found about 370 reviews there. And they were described as mostly honest and largely positive.
370 versus 4, that's a huge difference.
It is. What's fascinating here is the volume. That larger number of positive comments on Facebook, it's probably a stronger indicator of, general user satisfaction.
And what were the positive things people highlighted?
Speed and ease were big ones. People mentioned getting funds quickly, the application process being straightforward, especially helpful, it seems, when money was tight, like around the holidays.
Yeah, that makes sense. That direct positive experience, it definitely speaks volumes about usefulness.
Absolutely. But we do need to look at the nuance. There was critical feedback, too.
What kind of issues came up?
A few users mentioned specific problems with approvals or, and this seems important, issues with refinancing terms later on in the loan process.
Refinancing. That can get tricky.
Exactly. And this is where, the deep dive really matters. Even if a company seems legitimate up front, these critical details, like what happens with refinancing or future loan needs, they require real scrutiny from the user.
Right. So what does this all mean when we put it together?
Well, based on the evidence, the active corporate presence, the App Store inclusion, the transparency, and the large volume of mostly positive user feedback, even with those nuances.
Kashable appears to be a legitimate and, broadly speaking, trustworthy platform for these kinds of employer-sponsored loans.
It seems that way, yes. The foundational legitimacy checks out.
Okay.
But maybe we leave you with this final thought. Given that the company is legitimate, but knowing that some specific complaints popped up around refinancing and maybe later stage approvals,
Uh-huh.
what key questions should you prioritize asking, specifically about those long-term renewal terms or future approval requirements, before you sign up for any employer-sponsored loan service that accesses your payroll?
So look beyond the initial offer.
Precisely. That fine print, those future scenarios, that's where your own due diligence really comes into play. Something to definitely explore further.